Hey, what's up you guys? Brandasauresrex here, and today we're going to be doing a review on the SH monsterarts Godzilla, or Rebirth Godzilla. So the first thing I want to talk about before we look at the figure is the box. So here we have the box, and it is really nice, really nicely done. Kind of the new standard for the SH monsterarts line, you know, something that we have seen them do before. You have, you know, the logo of the SH monsterarts that says Godzilla, the emblem that says 2014, 60th anniversary, and it also says Godzilla right there. Also says SH monsterarts down here. It says SH monsterarts right here, Godzilla. Warning labels, don't choke on your shit. Tomashi Nation's logo right here, and Bandai right here. And then you turn it to this side, and you have a nice photo of Godzilla himself. It says SH monsterarts and Godzilla right there. Pull it out so you can see it. Ding! And then going back, let's rotate this thing around, and you have some awesome pictures of Godzilla. Turn up the brightness so you can see it a little bit. Yeah, you can see some nice photos of the Godzilla and some cool poses. This one is one of my favorites of him, kind of roaring up, and his name is in the background. This one's kind of standard, this one's standard, this one's standard, and showing you the effect beam that he comes with, and one small photo of the developer taking photos of the figure, which is awesome. Turn it this way, you get Godzilla's hand, also cool. And yeah, you get this cool slashing effect that we've come to know on these figures, and is also on the top and the bottom. Has a whole lot of legal jargon. So here we have all the accessories that come with the Godzilla, and you can see all of them look really cool, really nice, perfectly detailed. And I'm gonna zoom in, and we're gonna check out, I'm gonna focus in on these hands. We're just gonna check them out. I think these things look really cool. Nicely detailed as well. I'm trying to focus in on it at the same time. I'm trying to, yeah, you can see that there's a nice level of detail going on there. And the hands are really hard to swap. But on the figure, when you get it, it should have these hands right here. They're more closed, and they are different, which I find very odd, is that the hands are like different sculpt. Usually when you have some figures like this, you know, the hands are usually, you know, the same, and you just swap them out. But these are different, and basically all you have to do is kind of just wiggle it and pull it off. It's very hard to do, but I'll try to do it right now. 1, 2, 3, go. At the risk of popping this off, it is very, very hard. Ah, there we go. So yeah, so that's what the other hand looks like. It's almost like a closed fist, but not really. And then you kind of just put this one on, make sure this is the right hand, and then wiggle it on. This is actually surprising for me. I did not know that it was gonna come with extra hands, which is cool. But yeah, so there you go. It looks something kind of like that. I don't want to like force it on and pop the peg, because the peg is very thin, and if you leave it out a little bit, you got some articulation where you get half them waving. Hello guys. Hello. So something else that it comes with is this Tomashi Nation's neck stand, which looks like this, which is a very clear plastic. It looks very nice. You can see the little screw joints in there. It's a little loose in the middle for me, but you know, a quick screwdriver can fix that. And then it comes with this, the bottom, like the base of it, which looks really cool. You can see all the little details in there. And how great sculpted it was. This is basically the same thing that you get with the first release, but everything is blue. And then basically what you're gonna do is just kind of pop this in there. Oh, nope, didn't make it. Come on, you can do it. There we go. So you pop in like that, and then kind of just hold it up like that. And then the last thing you're gonna need is the atomic breath effect, and this looks really, really nice. I think this came out really cool. I don't understand why it's red, or this this kind of orangey color. I guess it's supposed to look kind of like the spiral ray, but this could have just been blue and it'd been fine, because we never figured out what the atomic breath looked like for the Godzilla Rebirth. So yeah, so then you basically, there's a peg right around here somewhere. They're hard to find. Oh no, is that it? No, there we go. It's right there. And you plug it into this little hole right here. I mean, there's this peg right here. So I'm going to do it a little bit off camera because I can't see. There we go. So it should pop in like that, and there you go. And it also fits into Godzilla's mouth perfectly. So here we have the Godzilla up there. And then you're just going to want to fix it into his mouth. And it fits perfectly, as you can see. I think that's great. I think it looks really cool, you know, just, and it actually covers the full mouth as well. I think that's really cool. It's great. I love it. So putting the accessories to the side, and let's take a look at the figure, and you can see all of the amazing details that are on this thing. I'm going to zoom in just so you can see all the amazing textures that are on this guy. Look at that. That just looks great. All of this is individually sculpted. It's not anything overlaid over it. I think this just looks great. Like, you can really feel it when you like rub your fingers against it. I think that just feels awesome. And if you look at the spines, I think the spines look amazing too. These dorsal fins, spines, whatever you want to refer to them as, they look great. I love the paint job on them. They look perfect. I think this all looks really good. And I love the way the light hits it, where it looks like bone. It looks like this bone texture. I think that just looks great. And that texturing also lands on the fingers and also on Godzilla's lovely little toes. I think the toes came out a little bit better than the fingers, but I do love the way that came out. I think it's great. Really great job. If there's any real need to talk about the paint after you just saw the amazing detail that's on this thing, then the one place I refer to you to look at is the mouth, because there is a lot of paint going on in there, and it's an easy place to mess up. Let's pan up a little bit. Let's focus in. You can see the detail in that mouth. Looks amazing. Looks great. I mean, it's very hard to do the inside of a mouth and get it right, but Tamashii Nations did a great job at painting that and making it look great. Mine has a little mistake in the tooth area. If you can kind of see it, it looks like Godzilla's missing a tooth. But by accident, I guess they painted a little bit of too much red on it. Forgivable. And because this just looks great. And also, look at the eyes on this thing. The eyes are crazy. Godzilla looks absolutely angry and pissed off, just like in the high side movies. So let's go over the articulation for everybody that doesn't know how much articulation is on this thing. So the first joint that he has is in the top of his head. It does rotate side to side. You could get a full 360 out of it. But I do warn you that the back of the head has a little notch for the spine to latch onto, which I'll show in a bit. Actually, I'll show it right now. You can kind of see it right here. This spine has a little gap for it to lock into. So when you pick it up, kind of locks into place, so you can wiggle this all as one motion, which is great. Then he has another joint down here which kind of moves on its own, and then a third at the base of the neck, which goes up and down a little bit, so you can get a little bit more motion out of it. His mouth does open and close, as I showed you before. His arms can do a full 360 like so. It's a little hard to like finagle, but you can get it all the way around. He has a bicep swivel, which is cool. Double jointed elbows, wrist articulation, and they can kind of bounce around, like slide around on the peg. He has an ab crunch, which I think is cool. He can look down at his Godzilla toes if you want him to. He also does flow freely on it, so he can. So if you want him like bobbing and weaving his way through punches, you can have that where he's like, "Ooh, can't touch me." And then he has these cool thigh joints which kind of poke out, and then they can rotate. You can get a full 360 out of them, or can you? Yes, let's see. Yes, a full 360 out of them, which is cool. Also, this Godzilla tail is slightly different from the 2000s Godzilla, because it has one joint here, and then another joint, I think it's right here. So, oh, here, and then right here. So this is all one solid piece right here, but it can wiggle a little bit. This piece can wiggle a little bit, but it doesn't move, from what I know. Wait, oh, does it? Yes, it does. So this piece moves, and then it moves to here. So 1, 2, and then 3, 4, right here, 5. It has a couple joints over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It has 10 points in the tail alone, so you can really see the level of articulation that is on this figure, which is great, really great. After a certain point, it does become one solid piece. So from like here to the top of the tail is all one solid piece, which I'm perfectly fine with. It still looks great, and it is slightly pushed back a little bit, like it's pointing that way a little bit better. So I think that's really cool. So you can see how long this figure is too. So here's a quick size comparison between the 3 Godzillas that I own. The Millennium Godzilla, or the 2000s Godzilla, and also the 2014 NECA Godzilla. And you can see that this Godzilla is taller than both of them, which is great. I think this works in scale with each other. I believe that the 90s Godzilla is supposed to be slightly larger than the 2000s, but this guy is so out of scale it's not even funny. He should be somewhere here, like that tall, comparing to them. So here we have the SH monsterarts Godzilla compared to the SH monsterarts Mothra, and you can see that they work in perfect scale together. And here we also have Godzilla standing next to Gigan, and you can see that Gigan is taller, which is great because Gigan should be taller. He's a massive beast and he just looks great. I think they look in perfect scale together. I would like to see a Final Wars Godzilla as well. That is one thing that I would love to see, because Final Wars is one of my favorite suits from the Godzilla movies. But yeah, I think this works in scale perfectly. Last but certainly not least, here we have Godzilla compared to the SH monsterarts Rodan and the Revoltech number 32, I believe, Gamera. And I think that Gamera is a little out of scale. I think that Gamera should be up here or maybe a little bit lower compared to Godzilla. But I think it looks cool. With some camera angles you could work it out. And Rodan fits in perfect scale with Godzilla. So to wrap up this review, this Godzilla is definitely the definitive Godzilla to get and to have for the High Size series. I feel like the NECA Godzilla is an easy pass for me, and I also feel that the original SH monsterarts is way too expensive, and this one is just years better than the original, because time has taught them things and how to make figures better. So this figure is an easier pickup to find. It's a lot cheaper and it's a lot better. The articulation is amazing, and if you own the original version of this, which is the Burning Godzilla, you know that this figure is amazing. And they also fixed that problem that they had with the thigh gap. So with all that being said, this is a great pickup. I'm so glad that I pre-ordered it, and I'm very happy with it. With that being said, I am going to let you guys go. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time.
Crispy.
2000s Godzilla, or the Millennium Godzilla.